It's January 2026 and we're into the third week of January for National League Rugby. So in week 3, we're only using our simple scoring system each week. We're using data from National League Rugby and the Talking Rugby Union website. And remember, Senior Mash is doing this on Substack. Let's focus on National League Rugby Division 1, and this week we're going to show that Senior Mash uses his heart, not data. We're going to look at this week's predictions, where we're up to since the 1st of January, takeaways from last weekend, and how to find and subscribe to Talking Rugby Union, National League Rugby, and Senior Mash on Substack. So the heart is definitely ruling the head when it comes to Sedgley Park Tigers. The game against Clifton was not a good watch. Thanks Vinnie Morley for putting it on YouTube. Sorry I couldn't be there, but I think I'd have got very frustrated. From my perspective, Sedgley Park looked off the pace and seemed unable to retain possession at the important moments, particularly in the red zone. There was an attempt to throw long passes. However, the long passes normally were caught by a player who had to stop rather than running onto the ball. So there always seems to be, we're just gathering momentum and then it was lost. Look, I want Sedgley Park to do well. We know that. So when it comes to predictions this week, I've got a real dilemma. Sedgley Park are at home, they're against Bishop Stortford. The ChatGPT prediction is Sedgley Park to win. Now, over the last few weeks, every time I say Sedgley Park to win, they lose. So coming into this round of predictions, I was very tempted to say Sedgley Park to lose in the hope that I continue to get things wrong. But that would be wrong at the most basic level. So Sedgley Park, I'm going to go for you guys winning, and I'm going to say you're going to win by 8 points. So let's face it, Sedgley Park are one of my Achilles heels at this prediction malarkey. The other vulnerability is I'm now losing to ChatGPT, and that really is causing me to be quite concerned. So this week's predictions need to improve. I'll be back with those predictions in a day's time. So this is me signing out on Tuesday, having watched Sedgley Park play Clifton on the Saturday. As you can tell, I'm putting some real thought into this. What's interesting is that ChatGPT and myself tend to agree on the direction of travel in most games, but then there's the heart. So, what's actually happening? Well, Plymouth are setting the pace quietly and efficiently, and in a way they've become the default front runners. Rotherham, to me, are still the league's, let me say, blunt instrument. What do I mean? I mean, they're doing what they always do in January. They're completely overpowering teams. You just can't match them up front. Rosslyn Park, well, they seem to be having a slight resurgence. Let's hope that continues. Blackheath, strong but suddenly human. Sale, the dogs, and they are doggedly staying in there and winning tight games. That's their style of play and it's going well. But let's face it, the relegation battle is now getting vicious. There's daylight opening up between those sort of bottom five. Leicester Lions, Leeds Tykes, Sedge, Bishops, Clifton, Dings. It's getting tight down there. There are going to be some big scraps. And I think predicting those games is going to be difficult. Well, here goes. First and foremost, Birmingham Moseley, Tonbridge Jordanians. I've gone Birmingham Moseley, ChatGPT's gone Tonbridge. Blackheath Dings, we've both gone Blackheath by 15. Plymouth v Rosslyn Park, we've both gone with Plymouth. Albeit, I've gone for a slightly smaller margin with that Plymouth game. But it's going to be an interesting one. It certainly is. And then, of course, Rams versus Leeds Tykes. We've both gone for Rams, basically the same margin. Rotherham Lions. Again, both of us have gone with Rotherham, albeit 20 versus 28 points difference. Selby Clifton. I've gone a slightly smaller margin because I think Clifton are scrapping it out. And then, of course, there's the Bishops game versus Sedge. I've gone for Sedge by 8 and ChatGPT's gone by Sedge for 6. So taking the 3 weekends in January in National League Rugby, what's happening when you look at Senior Mash versus ChatGPT? What do our cumulative predictions actually look like? Well, as I've mentioned, ChatGPT is currently winning, and last weekend's results didn't really help. As you can see, Leeds Tykes losing narrowly to Sale, Dings beating Birmingham Moseley, dragging Birmingham Moseley back into that relegation scrap. And it all means that after 2 weeks in January, ChatGPT's got 4 points, Senior Mash has got 2 points. In other words, the machine leads. Across National League Rugby, there are many sources of information. I use Talking Rugby Union and National League Rugby. By the way, the new National League Rugby app is superb. When I say superb, I mean quick. If you want to follow live scores, you'll get none quicker. Go on, get it downloaded. Do yourself a favour. And while you're at it, subscribe to Senior Mash on Substack. But what I'm going to share now are some remarks, some comments, some feedback about last week's games that I picked up via Twitter. Enjoy. And enjoy something that Plymouth Albion certainly did, beating Leicester Lions 47 to 17 points. Top versus bottom, obviously, but still the result needs to be achieved. Rosslyn Park had a great day, and the Twitter, as ever, was very, very positive, showing Jack Digby getting the man of the match. But what a way to start the year. Sums it up. And what a year we have in store. And Sale, one of those clubs that really are grinding out great results. Well done, Sale. Friday night game versus Leeds Tykes. Hard fought battle, 19-14, but just look at this. Yeah, you can see 75 minutes, 77 minutes, 14 all before Sale managed to get that decisive score in the last few minutes. Rams again had some fight back, trailing 26-7 at half time. They came through and they won. Bishop Stortford acknowledging a tight game against Rotherham, 27-35. And for me, it's all about Senior Mash Rugby on Substack. Take a look, please. And I'm going to continue using that simple scoring system to judge my progress versus the machine, that is ChatGPT. I hope you're enjoying doing these predictions. Give us a subscribe if you're enjoying it. Take a look on YouTube.